What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be installing this radio. Yes, it's already installed. When we bought this 2011 Honda Odyssey, one of the biggest problems with it was that the radio didn't work. So I took it out, and I took this radio out of my Jeep, and I just threw it in there quickly with just a basic adapter from Walmart. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it back out and use the wiring harnesses to retain steering wheel controls and the factory amp and subwoofer, and I'm going to be installing a backup camera. Now, personally, I think that having the backup camera down here when you're backing up doesn't really make sense, and it'd make more sense somewhere up here so that you can still see around you. So I got this backup camera from Amazon, and I'm going to be putting it right there because on these, the actual radio screen is this, and when you take the radio out, that screen is dead. So it's just dead space. So I think that with this here, it looks nice and serves a purpose in that blank spot. So first thing I'm going to do here is get this radio back out and take it from there. All right, so I got the radio out. And the nice thing with these Hondas is the factory brackets for the stock radio actually work with aftermarket head units. It took me a little time to figure out which holes it went in to line up right, but ends up looking pretty good. And here's the wiring harness that I did originally, and now I'm gonna move to the garage and start cutting this and redoing it with the new harness. All right, I'm in the garage now. Got the radio in here. There's the old wiring harness. Here's the new wiring harness. That is the USB for the CarPlay antenna adapter. And then I got the backup camera right here. And this comes with a cigarette lighter adapter, which I'm not going to be using. I got this converter that converts 12 to 24 volts into 5 volt 3 amp, and then this USB plugs into here, and then this plugs into this, giving it power. This also comes with a 50-foot cord to go from the screen back to the backup camera. And there's the camera right there. So I'm going to get the soldering iron all set up and start redoing the wiring harness. Quick note, I don't have the steering wheel control adapter yet. It's coming from Amazon, so I'm just waiting for that. Alright, there it is, all done, minus the steering wheel controls. I realized about 95% of the way through that I forgot to tie that in, so I had to redo it, but that's it all soldered up and heat shrinked. Here's everything attached to the back of the radio, minus the steering wheel controls. I'm going to go back out and test it, make sure everything works, and then probably going to run the cable for the backup camera while I'm waiting. Alright, I got everything plugged in and everything works. The backup camera screen's getting power. CarPlay works. And Amazon showed up with this. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to have to tackle here. Alright, a little change of direction for tonight because it's 20 degrees out and dark. So I'm going to start mounting the screen up in this area. If I can do this one-handed. So I'm going to start out by marking out where I'm going to make the hole for the inputs. There's the bracket mounted. There's the hole in there. And here it is with the screen in there. And I moved it forward enough so that you could take it in and out and still be able to push the button if you need to adjust the settings. Alright, it's light out. Not any warmer though. Now I gotta get this roll of wire from the radio all the way back to back here. If you're wondering if there's enough wire if you do buy this backup camera, I'm right there. I'd say they give you enough. Alright, so I got the wire run for the backup camera. It goes from there, and I left myself enough slack there, down through there, up across here, down through this kick panel, along this, up around here, through here, to the back, where it comes under here, and then goes up through here, along there, and then it comes out right there. Now, I tried running it through this, but it ended up being a pain, so I just cut a small hole here. I'm gonna put some RTV on that, and then a small hole here, and then it runs down along here. I'm gonna clip that back in, and it comes out here. Now I just need to tie it into the reverse lights. And the nice thing with most of this is up front I didn't have to take any panels off. I just had to kind of pop them up a little bit, and then back here I just had to pop this one out just enough to get the wire up, and then this one had to come off and this one had to come off. Other than that, it was pretty easy. Alright, I just had a moment where I was about to rip my hair out. I couldn't figure out why the screen would stay on after you put it back in park. Because it says if you connect the red and black wires at the back where the camera is, then it'll shut off when you put it back in park. If you just run it off of this power here, it'll stay always on. But there was just a delay on the screen. So after you put it in reverse, it comes on, and when you put it back in park, I was confused because it wasn't shutting off. If you watch, there's just a delay on the screen. So if anybody else buys this, that's the issue. Alright, so I got the steering wheel controls to work. See the volume's going up. You can change the station. There was a little bit of confusion with that, and I'll explain that right here. Okay, so when I originally went to set the steering wheel control box up, I went on the website, like it said, and put in, the information for the car, and selected dual because that's what the radio is. And I set the dip switches to this here, and did the wiring like it says right here, and it wouldn't work. And also it said to set it up like this when the head unit has the 3.5mm headphone jack for the steering wheel controls. So then I went back and I had to download the owner's manual for the radio because it didn't come with one. And it says right here that you have to set the switches for Pioneer, Other, or Sony. So then I went back and did it again for Sony, and as you can see here, the switches are different and the wiring is different, and it has the 3.5mm. So I did it like this, and then it worked. So that was the confusion I had. Alright, I got all the wires cleaned up. The only thing that I have left to do is figure out where to mount this, but that's going to be for another day. So now it's time to put it all back together. As for mounting the microphone, I just drilled 2 holes, one for the wire, and then this is like a ball and socket type. So I just glued it right in place. For mounting the backup camera, I got the back trim piece off right here, and I'm gonna run the wire right through this hole, which was for this clip. Now this piece also bolts in. So I imagine with that clip gone, it's not gonna be going anywhere. And I'm gonna silicone that, make sure it doesn't leak. All right, the camera is mounted. All right, everything is connected. The microphone, backup camera, it's all connected. So now comes the fun part, putting it back together. All right, well, there it is. CarPlay works. Microphone looks good. You can't even see it unless you're looking for it. Backup camera is good. The only thing I will say about the backup camera screen is it's got a lot of glare. But other than that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments section. I'm definitely not a professional by any means, but maybe I could help if you have any questions. And thanks again.